Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope Savara here, Mother Trucker Yoga, and we are on day 11 with the Driven to Be Healthy Challenge with St. Christopher Fund and Mother Trucker Yoga. Good morning. How are you? It is Thursday, and it's actually my sister's birthday. So if you've ever been to Matt's or Gat's, you've probably met Lindsay. So kind of exciting. Happy birthday, Lindsay, even though I know she's not in this group. But today we are talking about movement again, and drop it in the comments section if you're ready to move this morning, and drop it in the comment section where you're tuning in from. Where are you going? Where are you coming from? Are you at home? Drop it in the comment section and let me know. We're talking about movement, and I was looking back at all of your input from the survey from Sunday. Hey Marty, good morning. And a lot of you had requests for lower body. And on Tuesday, I showed you some things that you can do seated. I'm going to show you a couple things that you can do standing. Now, you can do them at home. You can do them outside your truck. You can really just do them wherever you have just a little bit of space. One of the biggest things that I see for people that sit a long time is, one, the need for improved circulation into the legs, improved blood flow into the legs. Also, things like calf cramping. And even if you aren't getting calf cramping or things like plantar fasciitis, that tightness, because everything is connected in the body, that tightness travels. So even though you might not be feeling arch issues in your feet, tightness, or calf, Achilles tendon, behind the knees, even hamstrings, even though you're not feeling that tightness can be pulling on your lower back, can even be pulling and causing neck and shoulder issues. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how can my tight calf or foot be causing neck or shoulder, even headache tensions? Think about your whole body like you're wearing a cat suit. You're wearing one big, huge suit of elastic, of kind of a plasticky, elastic-like bag. And so when your arm is restricted, or you reach your arm up overhead and it pulls, it's actually pulling on the entire body. You just don't always feel it. And so many of us get so stuck on where we're feeling tightness or feeling pain or feeling the strength or whatever it is, that we isolate our thoughts only into that one area. So what I want you to open your mind up to today is that the whole body is almost like one big muscle or one big piece of tissue. And when we focus on one area, it affects other areas of the body. That's why the hips are kind of a magical place, the lower back. You can work all the areas around that and it's gonna positively affect that. So that's kind of what we're gonna do today. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Gwen. And drop it in the comment section if you're watching the live, type the word live. And if you're watching the replay, type the word replay. We always like to know who is coming back and watching this and who is with us right now. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some things that you can do standing. I don't have shoes on because I don't have shoes on, but you by all means can have shoes on, especially if you're outside your truck. Please always be safe. Okay, so I have a chair, because I'm inside my house today. It's a little bit better lighting in here than it is outside right now. So I have a chair nearby. Think of the chair as the side of your truck. Think of the chair as a wall. Think of the chair as a chair. So then that way you always have something available if you're feeling a little bit unstable. I'm gonna try to move the camera a smidge, because drop it in the comment section. Just make sure you can always see me, okay? You can always see my whole body. I'm gonna do the best I can here to see if I can get this. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Can you guys see my feet now at least? Okay, so that's what I want. Don't worry about my head, but you guys can see my feet right now, and I'm standing about hips distance, okay? And I just want you to take a step back with one foot, just a casual step back. Don't overthink it. So if I'm sideways, it's just a step back. We don't need to go for broke. Once you step back, I want you to line up your feet like you're on two water skis. If you look at your back foot, what you might have noticed is that back foot was actually kicked out to the side. So this is our line of tightness in our legs. So if I step back, don't really think about it, my foot turns out because that outer hip is usually tighter for us. So now I'm going to turn it forward. And if you're doing this or are going to do this, what you're probably going to find is like, oh my gosh, now I'm not steady. I still want you to do this. You can always go wider, okay? When we turn that foot forward, we are retraining our lower body to be going in the same direction. You might notice now some lines of tightness in that back leg. That's a good thing. Okay, so hips are squared forward. My toes and my knees are pointing forward. And now I'm going to bend my front knee. So if I turn sideways, I'm going to look like this. I'm going to bend my back knee as far as I can, keeping the heel on the ground. Do not pick up the heel. You might have to shorten your stride. You do not need to go longer, I assure you. You do not need to go longer. So this is what I call a calf pump. We are going to release that lower leg. So exhale, bend the back knee. Try to keep the knee going straight forward without lifting that heel. So bend, 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 bend as much as you can, and then re-straighten it back up again. My front leg is going to stay bent. This is where the chair comes in. This is where the side of the truck or the wall comes in. You can do this while filling up with fuel. So just breathe out, bend the back knee as much as you can, and look at your knee. It should not be collapsing in. Do you see that? It should not be collapsing in. I need you to try to point it forward. That may create some stretching or pulling on the out front side of the shin, okay? There's a few muscles there. The soleus pops out in there. And so I want you to try to keep that knee forward and bend as much as you can. Welcome to your lower legs. If you're doing this with me right now, or you're going to be doing this, try to smile. And so exhale, bend, bend, bend. Try to keep the heel down and then bring it back up again. If you do this with shoes on, please know that your shoe can often be an optical illusion to your foot actually being straight. So if you can at least try this once with bare feet, it's going to be a lot more beneficial for you to make sure that that foot is straight. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'm bending my back knee while keeping that heel on the floor. If I turn sideways, try to give you guys as many viewpoints as you can. My camera is tilted, okay? So if it looks a little strange, I want to just be able to make sure we get the lower body, and sometimes the comments cover that up. Okay, so I'm bending the knee. It's not bending that much. I'm keeping my pelvis upright. I'm not pushing my booty back, and then bringing that leg up and straight. The heel is not lifting. So by doing this, I'm starting to let loose all the pulling around my knee, the back of the knee, the ankle, the Achilles, all the way even up into the hip. This is going to affect the hamstring. This is going to affect the lower back. And so this is just a little calf pump. All the while, that calf muscle is getting free. So just a fun little anatomy fact. We're going to do one more here, then we're going to switch. So can I do, there we go, and bring it back up. Can I do 10 of these? Can I do them for a minute? Can I do it until the sensation or the discomfort dissipates? Don't call it pain, okay? We had this discussion earlier this week. Pain is you getting hot water dumped on you. Pain is you putting your hand in a fire. Pain is you falling off a ladder, okay? This is discomfort. This is uncomfortable because it's tight. So I want you to kind of rewire the wording in your brain. As you bend this opposite knee, now notice that the sensation is different. So for me, on my left side, because this is, I've had issues here because I had an injury, the outside of my ankle is tighter and the inside of my knee is tighter. Where the other side, it was more the back of the calf and that front part of the shin. And so I'm trying to keep the knee forward and then re-straighten. So if you're thinking to yourself, Hope, why is it so important that we release the calf? Why pay attention to the calf? Because I've been teaching yoga for 20 years and most of the instructors I know don't pay attention to the calf. They only focus on making it look toned. But the calf The calf is the hydraulic pump. We're still working here, so if you come back to this video, we're still doing this side. The calf is the hydraulic pump for blood flow to come back up from your lower body. So if it's tight, if it's stuck, if the cat suit of your body is around that calf, you can't pump blood back up to the heart. And when you sit all day long, that calf muscle shortens significantly. So then when you get up and you're like, oh, my knees are bad, oh, my hips are tight, my lower back, that calf is stuck shortened. And more importantly, if you're getting calf cramps or you're sitting long time, how do you expect that blood flow to get back up to the heart? If it can't, the heart has to work twice as hard. And think about how far your foot is away from your heart. So movement is heavily, heavily, heavily connected to the other systems in the body. Okay, so as you do this, again, we're trying to do this for 10 reps, a minute, or do it as long as you're filling up with fuel or as long as you can stand it until that sensation dissipates. I'm watching that the knee does not dive in. No, 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 no. Train your leg to make your knee go forward. If you're tighter here or tighter through here, that knee is going to try to dump in. I don't want you to do that. I already feel better. I already can move my knees. I already can move my legs. Okay, so that's the movement one, is a calf release, okay? Drop it in the comment section if you're like, okay, I can totally do this. We like simple, easy, and effective. This is totally something that you can do discreetly anywhere that you're standing, all right? You'll see me in the grocery line just doing this because I want to get that blood flow back up to my heart, and the calves are an area in the body that we overlook. Plantar fasciitis, knee pain, back pain. You have to give your calves some love. Okay, so we're going to take that a step farther. So this was the first one, okay, the calf release, the calf pump. Now we're going to take that and we're going to pay attention to the hips, which is going to help dramatically our lower back, okay? So this is another standing one. This is one that you might need a chair. You might need the side of your truck. I'm just going to shift this just a hair. Thanks for working with me, guys, here. Okay. So now I'm going to step back again, just like I did. It's a casual step back. So if I show you from the side, this is how far I'm stepping back. It's whatever your body would naturally have you step back as. These are all body type friendly. I don't care if you're big, little, short, tall, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Turn that back foot forward. Let's take our feet a little bit wider. So do you see how I made my feet wider than kind of what my actual hips are? Now I'm going to turn my back foot slightly inward. All right, now you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, Hope, I'm going to fall over. You're not going to fall over, okay? You have your chair, you have the wall. This is part of balance. We need to practice balance. Now bend the front knee. So I have my back foot slightly turned in. Now I'm going to bend my back knee, and my knee is going to go in. So listen carefully. The direction of the toes should always be the direction of the knee. Whatever you're doing, doesn't matter. This is not just about these exercises. The direction of the toes should be the direction of the knee. Your knee is not a ball and socket joint. This is a ball and socket joint. I can go anywhere. My hip is a ball and socket joint. Your knee is a hinge joint, okay? So we want to make sure that that knee goes in the direction of the toes, heel down. Now I'm going to take that hip, okay? This would be your left hip if we're mirroring each other. I'm going to bump it out as far as I can go next to me. Here's my chair. Here's the step of my truck. Now I'm getting all of this to stretch out. It's like there's a tiny little stool and you are going to try to sit on it, but it's almost too far away. Go as far as you can and then come back up again. I'm going to do this 5 times. So back knee bends, it goes inward, heel stays down, and I'm going to bump my hip out as far as I can go. This is called dynamic movement. And the reason why dynamic movement is so powerful is because we use all the tissues in our body. So this is a broken down movement. We're just going to do the lower body today. Press, press, press. It's like a hip bump. As far as you can go. Ooh, I can feel that on the side of my hip. and then bring it back up again. If I go sideways, I want you to see all sides. Again, I can widen my feet. Back foot turns in. See how my front knee is bent? I'm going to bend my back knee and try to bump the camera. And this is something you can play around with to how you do that. Let's just do one more. So heel stays down, back knee bends. I'm going to bump my hip out to the side. So for those of you with bursitis, for those of you with IT band tightness that's causing knee pain, when the hips are tight, they put pressure on the lower back. We're trying to alleviate some of that. We're bringing more blood flow. Let's do the opposite side. Widen your stride a little bit. That back foot turns in. We're trying to bring more blood flow to the pelvis, to the pelvic organs, to the lower body. Sitting all day is not helping your lower body. Please hear me say that. And so we need to not only strengthen, walking is great, but we need to make sure those tissues are mobile. So back knee bends. Now my knee is going in. Why? Because my toes are turned in. So knee bends. Hip is going to go out to the side, like you're trying to push someone next to you. And you are going to feel all of those hip and glute tissues stretch, 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 stretch. And then come back up again. So I'm holding onto my chair. You can hold onto the wall. If you want to challenge balance, you can do no hands. And your stride can be as short as you want. So I could have a really short stride, and I'm still going to feel it. This is definitely an awesome stretch. And then again, exhale, back knee bends, heel stays down, hips move out to the side. Promise me that you will try this, because this will be a game changer for you for your hips. I can take my stride super wide, so wide, and I can do the same thing, and I can still get a stretch. I can hold the chair, whatever you need to do. If you give me an excuse, I will find a way for you. I assure you of that. And then again, press it out, press it out, press it out, press it out. As you do that hip bop, don't be surprised if you start to feel ankle stretches, knee stretches, maybe even some low front hip, even into the lower back. It is all connected. So sometimes people will say, Hope, I have knee issues. More times than not, what you're going to see is other areas of the body being focused on, not the knee. Because the knee gets pulled on. It gets pulled on by what's above, and it gets pulled on by what's below. It's like a child stuck in the middle of a tug of war. We have to loosen and release what's below, and then re-strengthen it, and then do the same for what's above if you want that knee pain to go away. So these were two movements that you can do today. Promise me that you're going to do them. Remember the first one, let's review. The calf pump or the calf stretch. Feet are forward on water skis, as wide as you need. Heel stays down, and bending that back knee. Keep the knee going forward. Bending it as far as you can and then bringing it back up again. And doing that at least 10 times or until that sensation dissipates. The second movement you're going to do today is the same stride, maybe wider. Back foot pivots in just a little bit. Don't go for broke. We don't need that foot all the way turned in, just a little bit. Wherever the toes go, the knee goes. Back knee bends, heel stays down, and then push the hip out to the side. I know you're probably thinking I'm going to look so silly, but you know what? You're going to feel a hell of a lot better than half the people you're going to see today with tight hips, lower back, and calves. So that's 2 movements that you can do. The third thing I want you to focus on today is going to be getting your shoes off, if you're going to do this with shoes on, getting your shoes off at the end of the day, probably more than likely in your calf or if you're at home, and you're going to work on your feet. I'm going to, give me 1 second here. I'm going to lower this down so you can see my feet a little bit better. All right, let's see if that's good. Okay, well that's much better. Okay, so you're going to do your feet now. You're going to get your shoes off, and you're going to roll over your toes and stretch and hold. Now, you might feel like, oh, Hope, my feet are so stiff, you can barely roll over the top of your toes. So I want you to do what's breathable. I'm not going to use the word comfortable, because if we did everything that was only comfortable in life, we would hardly be doing anything. So I want you to challenge yourself to break up that tight tissue. And then do the same thing the other way. Just notice which side or which direction is a little bit harder. And then the same thing, I'm going to roll over my toes. And then I'm going to go over the top of my toes. And then you can roll the ankles too. Okay, so you have 3 movements that you can do today. You have a foot movement, you have a calf movement, and you have a hip movement. This is all connected, okay? If you're just tuning in, please hear me. This is all connected. If you have calf issues, hip issues, knee issues, whatever it is, if you have neck stuff and you're like, Hope, you didn't even do neck stuff today, I assure you that lower body releasing is going to positively affect the rest of your body. We need that blood flow down into the lower body. We need the calves to have full mobility to pump blood flow back up to the heart. If you have back pain and hip pain, I assure you, without having met you, as a truck driver, as you are a truck driver, you're sitting a lot, I can guarantee your lower body probably needs a little bit of love. A little bit of love as in some release, some mobility. So keep walking, keep drinking your water, keep getting your fruits and veggies in, keep working on getting away from those electronics for at least a few minutes before you go to bed, but more importantly, make sure you keep moving. Our bodies are meant to move, and so we have to make the effort to get them moving when we live a lifestyle that doesn't allow us to do a whole lot of that. So if this video was helpful, please, 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 please try these exercises. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you're looking for more awesome stuff like this, check us out, Mother Trucker Yoga. We got a lot of stuff just like this, but I want you all to know that you can feel better wherever you are. That it is about the small, simple changes. It is about 5 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 2 minutes here. That all adds up at the end of the day to a lot more movement than what we would have done only thinking in our head it has to be in one chunk of time. All right, my friends, I hope you have a fantastic day. Keep on trucking, keep on rolling, and we will see you guys again really soon. We got a couple things here. Oh, Melinda, hey. Travis, hey. Cheryl, Bobby just went to the vein doctor for the very reason, blood flow and pump. Awesome. So yes, yes, yes. Please, please, please do these exercises. Share these with your friends and loved ones and fellow drivers. Let them know that there are opportunities out there for them to feel better, that aren't complicated, that don't require a lot of time. That's exactly why I created Mother Trucker Yoga, and that's exactly why Julie Dillon and I are here doing this with you guys. All right, much love. I will talk to you guys again really soon. Drop any questions you have in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section if you've done these exercises. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, there's no stupid questions. I cannot wait to hear back from all of you. Bye, my friends.